Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mid-Life Music. My name is A Weapons. Go support my artist, MR War, on my A Weapons page. Listen to the song, leave comments below. Let me know what you think. If the spirit guides you, go to the PayPal link that's underneath the video and donate. And also to donate to Tone Jones. For all the people who's who basically watches The Real Music Observer. Ugh. But all these people, if you are into 80s R&B, if you're into 80s hip hop or contemporary pop music, please visit my partner Tone Jones, and that's ToneJonez. So that's tonejones.com. You can download the song, you can put it on your videos and stuff, and he actually allows you to use the licensing for the song, for a fee, a small fee, but he allows that. So visit Tone Jones, and also if you're into sports, visit my brothers at the LDBC at ldbcsports.com. All right, on to business. This video is basically based upon a dispute that me and Dave from The Real Music Observer had. Probably, this is before we had our falling out. Anyways, what we had talked about on Facebook was his video about Don Henley forgiving Don Felder and just letting bygones be bygones, and he can just step back in and do the music. I totally disagreed with that. And the reason I disagreed with that is because Don Felder still has a lawsuit pending against Don Henley and Glenn Frey. I don't understand that. Why in the world are you going to sit there and forgive somebody for pulling that? It doesn't make sense. I would never forgive you. Matter of fact, fuck you. And that's how I feel about that, because the only thing that's linked to you, Mr. Felder, is Hotel California. Now, the one thing, well, actually it's two things, but the one thing I agree with you on totally is the fact that on the album, you should be getting 50% for the publishing. Don Henley should get 25%. And Glenn Frey, God bless the dead, should be getting 25%. Now that I agree on, because without you, there would not be a Hotel California. I heard the cassette tape, during the documentary, and I'm like, well, he did bring the idea for the song. Pretty much. And Don Henley and Glenn Frey put the song on PEDs. For pure music people, PED stands for Performance Enhancing Drugs, steroids. And that's what happened. They put that song on steroids. So for that, I feel that they should share 50%, 25 for Glenn, 25 for Don Henley, but 50% should go to Don Felder. So I do agree with that. I also agree that Don Henley and Glenn Frey are dicks. And I don't mean to talk bad about Glenn Frey because he's passed on. So I'm not going to talk bad about him. But they are dicks. So with that being said, your job, Mr. Felder, is to do your guitar playing and sing some background vocals and try to help bring in some, some writing and some production. That's your job. It's one thing if you were getting, I'd say 5,000 a show. If you were getting 5,000 a show, okay, you can complain all you want. I would have no issue with that. I would support you and I would be on your side. But this bullshit you doing right now, I can't condone that. You got a lawsuit. You talking all this dumb shit. You on concerts singing with auto-tune helping you out because you're not a singer. Just like Don Henley said, you are not a fucking singer. Just shut the fuck up, do your background vocals, and play your fucking guitar, you dumb fuck. That's what you do. You don't do anything else. You should not even give a fuck about it. Joe Walsh don't give a fuck. He don't. He don't give a fuck. His whole thing is, look, if I want to bust a nut, I can put out music of my own online. And that's what he wants to do. And that's all he does. Neil Sean is the head of Journey. Well, him and Jonathan Cain. They head Journey, right? So, you do not hear Neil Sean complaining about doing lead songs. He don't give a fuck about that. So why the fuck should you give a fuck? Leave that shit alone. Go ahead and just play your guitar, sing your background vocals, and shut the fuck up. That's it. Just shut the fuck up and do what you're supposed to do. It makes me sick when I see somebody like Don Felder. He's a fucking crybaby. Oh, well, you know, I missed the brotherhood. Then drop the fucking lawsuit, Mr. Felder. That's what you do. You drop the fucking lawsuit. You talk to Henley and you apologize for your childish behavior. Fry and Henley were right. Okay? During the 80s, I think Felder came out with 2 albums. I'm not sure. I'll look that up. He's not a singer, y'all. He's not a fucking singer. He's not a singer at all. So basically what he needs to do is just accept the contract that was given to him. And it wouldn't be no problem. You think Joe Walsh and Don Henley don't argue? Of course they argue. You think Don Henley and Timothy B. Schmidt don't argue? Of course they argue. But business is business. And that's what it is. But you want to sit around here and put flies in the ointment. Oh, well, I feel that we should go by this contract that we signed in 1974, 1975. What the fuck? That contract is not going to be honored. Contracts are broken every fucking day. Prime example. The contract between David Geffen and the Eagles. That contract was broken. Okay? Dave Geffen was in the right as far as the contract was concerned. He was in the right. But the contract itself was immoral. So rather than go through the bullshit, he squashed everything. He decided, look, we don't need to do this. All right, y'all can go. Another example. Backstreet Boys and the late, great Lou Pearlman. Basically, what went down with him was that he had them by the balls. Even when they let go of the contract said that he still owned 25% of everything. So now, I don't know if that's valid now because he's passed on, and I don't think he had any relatives. And, well, we know about his, alright, I ain't gonna say that bad. But, Lou Pearlman, that contract was broken. Lou Pearlman's contract with NSYNC, that was broken. Tony Braxton's contract with LaFace Records, that had to be broken because it was an immoral and basically illegal contract, basically. So, Don Felder just needs to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's what he needs to do. He needs to drop the charges, drop the lawsuit against the Eagles, in particular Don Henley and Glenn Fry's estate. He needs to drop that. He needs to sit down and have an hour conversation with Don Henley. He needs to apologize for his childish behavior, and then he needs to go on tour with them and do what he does. Play guitar and sing background vocals. You are responsible for one song. Okay? One. And I'm not including Victim of Love because that wasn't a banger. Hotel California was. So, basically, and I'm going to address this to Dave right now. Dave, you can't go around getting upset because someone disagrees with your views. Or worse, create a narrative that has nothing to do with your video or one's disagreeing or agreeing with your video. You can't direct narratives all the time because you're the great Dave, the Real Music Observer. You can't do that. So like I said, you know, oh, let me address one of the people who commented. His name is Bob. Robert, I'm going to say this to you. Right now, I have bigger fish to fry. I'm not thinking about Dave or the Real Music Observer or anybody else. Right now, my focus is on MR War. Okay, that's my focus right now. My focus is not even on A Weapons. My focus is on MR War. And I'm trying to actually get some music out there. So, more or less, what I'm trying to do right now is get his feet on the ground and get him started. Now, the Dave Real Music Observer smear campaign will continue. And I will at some point disclose the Facebook conversations that we had so that everybody can see exactly what they're dealing with. And what they're dealing with is a potential racist. Okay? Not a bigot, a racist. I'm going to call it the way I see it. And that's what he is. A racist. But, like I told you before, right now, my focus is not on him. So I'm not going to be talking bad about him or anything. And I want to make something clear to everybody who's a Real Music Observer fan. I still love his videos. I still watch his videos. I'm still a fan of his work. But I know who he is as a person. I don't know personally, but I know who he is as a person. He's shown that. Like they say, if you ever want to know what a person is, you have to learn what they was first. And what Dave was a closet racist who tried to adapt and relate to black people by talking about black music. And I have a problem with that because I don't just love black music. I love all music. So that was my issue. So for all the people who say, well, you're pulling the race card. Well, he pulled the race card. Why ain't you saying anything about him? He pulled the race card. He's putting black people in black houses. Yeah, but you know, I love Otis Redding and Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I like them too. But I also like Hoyt Axton. You know what I'm saying? I also like Crystal Gale. I also like Barbara Mandrell. I also like Dolly Parton. I also like Michael McDonald. Well, Mike McDonald's black. So that's another conversation. But I also like Kiss. I also like Mudvayne. I also like System of a Down. I love all these people. I love Rage Against the Machine. I love all these people. This is what I listen to, dog. This is what I was raised on. I was raised on country western music, gospel, bluegrass, on Grand Ole Opry music, and some R&B, and some rap. Because when I lived down south at the time, they only played rap music during the weekends. And sometimes on Wednesdays. But in most cases, it was all about country western music, and that's all I listened to. So, with that being said, back to Don Felder. Shut the fuck up. That's what you do. And I'll just leave it at that. This is Mid-Lyfe Music. My name is A Weapons. Don't forget to support my affiliates and my partners. You can support MR War by going to the A Weapons page and kindly donate $1, $5, $2. You know, whatever the Lord moves on your heart to donate, you can do that. It helps him with his journey. If you like his songs, you know, donate what you can. And I promise, once the donations reach a certain level, he has 4 other songs coming right behind it. I'll put that out there. If you want to hear anything from me personally, A Weapons, let me know, and I'll send you something. You know, talk to me behind the scenes. Leave me a message behind the scenes, and I'll give you my email address, or you give me yours, and I'll send you whatever you want to, whatever you want. Okay, so we have MR War, we have X-Men Promotions, who's the management for MR War, and management for A Weapons. Then you go ToneJones.com. That's ToneJonez.com. You go to that site. Once you go there, if you want anything pop, R&B, 80s, you can just download that. The licensing fees are low. Support ToneJones.com and support the almighty LDBC. And for those who don't know, that means the Lions Den Boxing Community. You can go to LDBC Sports, that's with an S at the end, LDBCsports.com, and you can pick out whatever you want as far as articles about life, articles about current events, and articles about sports. And the clothing line will be back very soon. My name is A Weapons, Mid-Lyfe Music. Peace.